Today's topic will be automation. So I'll be teaching you how to automate the process Excel to Excel and Excel to PowerPoint today. Okay. Though the topic looks very simple, the concept wise it is very much to learn. And this concept of automation is very much required in reporting field because you'll be copying the data or say extracting the data from various applications. Okay, so today first I'll tell you about how to understand the concept of automating the process and then how to work on Excel to Excel and Excel to PowerPoint. So after that, once you guys are thorough with automation process, then we'll see about other applications as well. Okay, but today just concentrate on Excel to Excel and Excel to PowerPoint. All right. First of all, let's understand what is this automation and how to automate the process. Automation is a process of automating whatever you're doing manually. Say for example, I have 25 Excel files and there are data in those 25 Excel files. I need to copy all the data from those 25 Excel files and put it into one Excel sheet, or it can be one Excel workbook with multiple sheets. Okay, so there are various things what you have to plan. So first, when you say I want to automate a process, first make a list of tasks what you have to do. So according to that task, you have to process means write a macro or say write some codes so that the complete process is automated. Fine. Now what we'll do is we'll see how we can start doing the automation for copying some data, say from a folder. Let's say I have data in a folder here. From this folder, I need to copy the data to this worksheet, that is WKS data, where we worked previously. The complete data should get pasted here, right? In our previous versions, or say in our previous say reportings or the dashboards what we did, we had a complete data. Say it was cleaned, I just got the data and I did the reports on this. But now let's assume that the data is not there and the data what the client is giving to me is in this, I'll say in this manner. If you open one of the files, let's try to understand the file. When I open a file, see the data is like this. The data what we got previously was completely cleaned and it was one below the other. So I don't have to bother. I just took the data manually and put it in my Excel sheet in the WKS data sheet and started creating the reports. But now the format of the data what client is giving is totally changed. So what the client is doing is he is breaking the data into different files and is giving to us. Now I have to copy this data, let's say this data, and I have to paste it here. So depending on the data what he is giving, so we have to update it one below the other and that will get refreshed for creating the reports here. Or sometimes we have written or we have created a report such a way that all this data should be there in one Excel workbook but with multiple sheets. So there are different ways where we need to take the data and put it into one place. So this is actually called as automating the process. Now let me do this one thing manually. I opened one file, I'm copying this data and I'm pasting it here, assuming that the headers whatever is there it is same, means complete column format is same. Now if you want to copy that another file, I'll go here, I'll open another file and then copy this data and then I'll be pasting just below this. Now if you want to do this process manually, let's go and check how many files are there. If you go and check, there are 112 files. Now if I am doing this manually 112 times, it will take a lot of time. Sometimes we might miss the data and we might paste, let's say I've copied this data somewhere by mistake, I would have pasted somewhere here like this. Now the data is completely messed up. We might end up with wrong results, or there might be some ways where we get errors also in the reports. To avoid this, what we'll do is we'll try to automate the process. Next thing is, suppose if I'm doing manually, there are chances that I might miss some files also. There are 112 files. I might miss, say I'm opening one by one. There are chances that I might miss one or two files, and again, that might not come in the reports. Then that is also a problem. So to avoid all this, to have the accuracy, to speed up the process, we write macros to automate the process. So many people actually think automation means it's just a program you're writing. It's not just writing a program. It is about understanding the concept and then writing the macros according to that process and then executing it. So don't think that automating a process is difficult. Automating a process is very easy once you understand the concepts and the flow. If you don't know the flow, I'm telling you, the complete process of writing the macros is waste. So I showed you how to do this manually. The reason why I showed you how to do this manually is any automated process, if you are writing a macros, make sure that you'll at least try few steps by doing manually. Make a note of it and then try to convert that into macros. For example, now I opened a file. See, I opened a file. I copied the data. Then I pasted here. Then let's say I'll close this file. So have the habit of closing this so that it will not occupy your memory space. I open another file. I'm copying this. Now what I'm doing, I'm trying to paste it just below this. Like this. So copy this data and then paste it just below this. Like this. Again, I'll open one more file. I'll paste it just below this. So it goes on. It's a continuous process. That means if I'm automating a process, I should use loops because it is repeating the same task multiple times. Okay, so this is a theory part of how you can understand the process, how you can put that into steps and then write macros and then execute it. Now we understood the steps. Now what we'll do is we'll see how we can convert these steps into macros. All right. Now first thing is we should understand where the data is. Let's go and check where the data is. I've kept the data here. That is, there is a folder called as raw data, and the dashboard, or say the automated tool, the automation tool which I've written is in this folder. So the automation tool is in this path and the data is in this path. There is one more folder called as raw data and I can go and check this data. Now we'll open this file automatically through macro, copy the data, paste it, close it. So we'll do the same process multiple times. So I'll show you how to start writing the macros for this. So whatever I told till now is completely on a theory part to understand the process of automating. The process might change. Again, I'm telling you guys, the process might change from one automation process to another automation process. So please first make the steps, understand the complete process, and then only write the macros. Now this process, whatever is there, I made you guys understand. Now we'll work on that. Now first what we'll do here, let me take this menu sheet next to my data sheet because this is where I'm writing the macro and copying the data. Okay, so always have this habit wherever you're writing any macros. So whichever sheet you're using, just keep it close by so that it will be easy to navigate and check the say process whether it is working properly. What I've done here is I have a list of file names what I'll be working on this here. Now first we'll understand how to open the file. First I'll teach you how to open the file, say hard-coded values, and then I'll tell you how to open this dynamically. Alt F11. Let's go here. There is one module called as import data. Here what I'll do, let's try to open this file, open a file in that folder, hard-coded. That means I'll just hard-code the file name and then I'll open sub open file. So this macro, let's keep it just to open the file. Right. So how to open a file? It is like this: workbooks dot open. So if I say workbooks dot open, that means it will try to open the file. Now I need to give the file name. Let's go here. I'll give the file name. The parameter is workbooks dot open, and I'll be giving the file name. So let's go here. I'll take the file name. Here I'm trying to take the file name and I'll paste it here. This Excel sheet, Excel workbook, I'll say Excel SX. The extension also should be given. Now I'm saying workbooks.open and I'm giving the file name. But when I'm giving this file name, I know that this is there in this folder. I just copied the file name and I pasted. But how will the system know that it is there in this folder only? Then again, you have to take this path. So I'm just taking this path, copying here, and then I'll put it here. Say slash. So this is the path where I have the file which I need to open. All right, let's run this and see. Let's check whether it's opened. Now you can see that the file has opened. All right, now we understood how to open the file, but what we have done now is the hard-coded one. This has to be opened multiple times. The file should be keep opening and closing, opening and closing. So for that, what we'll do, we'll try to slightly start modifying the code so that these files, whatever is there, should get automatically opened, copy the data, paste it one below the other, and then close it. So I'll keep this as is for your reference. Now what I'll do, I'll say sub automate process. So I'm writing a macro here to automate the complete process. The first thing what I'll do is I will take the workbooks what I've opened, say what I'll be opening or what we are opening. So that one into one variable, say dim. I will say WBSRC. Just this is a variable name for the workbook what I'm trying to open as workbook. WBSRC is the workbook variable. Now what we'll do, we'll take this path also into one variable, that is dim str path as string. Now you can take this path in various ways. One is you can open the folder and then you can copy that and you can paste it. Some people, what they do, they'll go here, say str path, they'll copy this till this raw data, say till wherever the path is there, they'll paste it like this. This is one way. I'll tell you all different ways. Now let me copy this, I'll paste it here, I'll just comment this. Another way is we can also use something called as this workbook dot path. This workbook dot path, what it will do is it will give me the path till here. That means till wherever I'm writing the macro file. This is the file what I'm writing, so this is the path. But the data is inside this raw data. Means the data is inside the raw data till wherever the folder is there. In that there is one more folder. So what I have to do here is in my code, say ampersand slash raw data slash. So this is one more way. Or there is one more way. What we can also do is I will take this path till this raw data and I will put it here somewhere, say path. This is another way. So here I have the path. Suppose if you think that my data is changed, you can put this path wherever you want. You can just copy and paste the path and you can start working on it. Now I have to take this reference AF1 str path equals WKS menu dot range of say AF1 dot value. This is another way. So you can use any of these ways. There are so many different ways. So I'll not confuse you guys with so many options. Any of these options is very simple for you to start with doing the automation. Fine. So this is to take the path. You can take any of these options. Fine. Now I need to get the file name. The file names are actually changing because here it's not that there is only one file. there are multiple files. And if you see here, I have the file names here. So if you go and see this, the files are starting from AF11. That means if you want to change these file names one by one, I have to use loops. First, what we'll do, we'll hard code this reference and we'll take this into one variable. So what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll say dim str file as string, and then we'll take this str file equals double case menu range of AF11 dot value. Now I have the path, I have the file. So if you go and see this here, I have the path and this is the file name. So same thing what we have done, we have taken that in a variable. So str path will give me the path, str file will give me the file name. Now let's go and say workbooks.open. Open. I will open bracket and I'll say str path ampersand str file, close the bracket. Now the same thing here which I hard coded, here I'm taking that into variables and I'm trying to do this. Say F8, you just move your cursor here and see, I'll get the path here and then I'll take the file, and now when I run this, see the file got opened. That means by using the variables I'm trying to open the file. Yes, so this is working. But now what we'll do, this one when I open, I also need to copy. So when I'm keep opening the files, I'll not know which is that Excel file which I'm actually working. So for that, what we'll do is this workbooks.open, that path whatever is there, we'll put that into one variable. That is, we have this wbsrc. I'll use set wbsrc equals workbooks.open. See, just the same thing whatever was there, I just put that into one variable. That means now in this variable I'll have this workbook. It is the data what I'm putting in this variable. Now if I open a workbook, the opened workbook will be assigned with this variable. Right, now we have to open multiple files, all this one by one. So what I'll do now, here it says AF11. If I want to open the next file, then I have to go here and make it AF12, then AF13, 14, 15, 16, till wherever the number of files are there. Let me count the number of files selected. Count is 112. What we'll do, we'll take the count, say equals count A, and I'll take the number of files here from here till bottom. Suppose if more files get added, so this count should get increased. This is for files count, number of files, and I'll just make it bold here, which will help you in understanding. I'll just highlight all this so that it will be easy for you to refer. Right, let's take this one into one variable. See, the variables what you're taking here, you don't have to do it everything in the beginning only. One by one, whenever you think that it is needed. So you have to go and keep adding, and please have the habit of declaring the variables on top always. Let that be code very big. So if you are declaring any variable, scroll up, declare in the beginning. Say dim, say int file count as string. I'm giving this complete name here so that it will be easy for you to know this variable used for what purpose. The file count. The file count is what? The number of files. That means those many number of times I have to loop. Right. So let's take this file count after this path here equals wks menu dot range of, I will take this AF6 dot value. So this int file count will run 112 times. That means 112 is the count what I have. Now what I'll do, I'll take one loops here so that will run 112 times and open all these files which is listed here, right? Okay, So for loops, what we should do, we need to have that loop setting INTI as integer. Now what we'll do is we have to see what all code has to go inside the loop. This file count, this is only once. That means I have to take the count and I have to know that how many times the loop has to run. Now what I'll do here, these things, the files and the workbooks which I'm opening should be looped. So for that, I'll go here, I'll say for INTI equals 1 to 112. I can mention here 112. But if I say 112, this might change tomorrow, or it might get added more files here. So for that, we have taken one INT file count. This is starting number, this is the ending number. We know the starting number, it will be 1, and this file count is the count of file what we have taken here. Always use a variable so that it will be dynamic. Now tomorrow if more files get added here, then this will become say the number will change here, the same number will be referred here. Fine, so we understood. Say INTI equals from 1 to the number of files what we have, and then say next INTI. Let's use indentation so that it will be easy for me to understand. See, for INTI is nothing but the incremental variable, equals 1 is the starting number, and INT file count is the number of times I'm actually trying to loop. Inside this, I have this str file, which is the variable for file name. AF11 is what I have here, this AF11. Now what we'll do, we'll make this dynamic. It says AF11 and it will take only this value. But next time when it is looping, it has to take this value, that is AF12, AF13, 14, it has to keep increasing. So for that, what I'll do is, I'll just remove this AF11, I'll remove that 11 and say ampersand INTI plus 10. I'll tell you why we use this INTI plus 10. When I'm running this loop, INTI will be 1 in the first cycle of the loop. It is 1. The plus 10, it will become 1 plus 10, it is 11. So it says AF ampersand 11. That means AF11. So it will take this value. Next one is AF. The next cycle, this will become 2. So 2 plus 10, that is 12. AF12, that is this value. So we automate the process of opening or say getting the file name from row to row, that is one by one. So based on this file name, these code, whatever we have here, this will open the file. When I say the value, it will take this value, AF dot value, the whatever, it will open. That is, it will take that value and here it will change the file name, it will open. But when I open the file, I also need to close it. We'll see how to copy that later. We'll see how we can open and close. Now the file which I've opened will be in wbsrc dot close. The raw data what you're opening should always be closed without saving, because the raw data is just to copy and paste. The process should happen in your dashboard, not in the raw data. So when I say wbsrc.close, it asks for save changes, make it as false. That means you're not saving the file. Now let's run this and see whether it will open properly all the files with the names what is there available here, and then close the file. We're just doing opening and closing here. I'll go here, say F8. Let's check the file name. It says Andhra Pradesh underscore Apple underscore sales. That is this one. We are getting this value. Now let's open this file. If you open this file, if you go and check this, see Andhra Pradesh Apple sales. Right. The next step what we have here is to close that file. Let's check. See, the file is closed. Let's go and check one more file. Now if you go and check this, the file what we have is units. Let's go and check. See here. Right. Now I'll close this. If you still want to check that, try to open one more file. Say here we have BlackBerry underscore sales. So you can see that BlackBerry underscore sales here. Let me close this. So randomly just try to run and check whether the code is running properly. Always, I've told you, whenever you're writing some code, try to keep checking one by one so that if you don't have any errors, the next step will become more easy for you. Now the process what we have done is to open and close the file. The next one is we have to copy and paste. We have to copy the data which is there in the opened file, and then we have to paste the data in my WKS data sheet here. So where should I paste? We should paste in E11. Right. First we'll see how to copy this. When I'm copying, the data in each file may differ. In one file it can have 10 records, in one file it can have 20 records or 30 records, I'm not sure. Let's say WBSRC, this is the file dot sheets. See the hierarchy. WBSRC is a workbook. Directly I cannot go and copy the value. I have to go to the particular sheet, the hierarchy. Open. Now I don't know the sheet name. Usually what we will do, see here we have this WKS menu. That means we know the code name of the sheet and then we are taking the value. But if it is a raw data, I'll not know what is the sheet name. So in that case, what should I do? So I know that the data what I have is in the first sheet. So I'll go here, say WBSRC sheets 1 dot. Now I'll say a range of. Let's give the range, say A1 to let's say some D10. I'm just hard coding it. Dot copy. Now if I'm giving this A1 to D10, it will copy only from A1 to D10. Let me run this. I opened the file. So it says A1 to D10. It will copy only this much. But in this case, the data is still I11. So what I'll do, I'll go here, I'll make it as I11. Let me run this code once. See, this copying only this part. So what about this part? Let me go here and I'll say I11. I'll go here, I'll say I11. Let me just take this code here. I'll run this. See, it is copying this data. Again, I told you the data might not be only this much. This might increase also, or this might decrease also. Some people have the habit of copying from A1 till say I, or say some 10,000 or 1 lakh or something. Never do that. That will actually occupy the memory space. Or this might also increase. Let's say it is going up to Z, then what will you do? So what we have to do is, in this case, let me just comment this so that you can refer it. I'll just copy the same code. So whenever you have data something like this, say A1 dot say current region dot copy. When I say current region, what it will do is from A1 till wherever the data is, it will just try to select. That means it will copy like this. If you have data till here, so it will copy like this. Let it be any number of rows, so you don't have to bother about giving the number of rows here. It will just try to copy the data. Right. Now let's go and check whether it is copying the entire range. See, it is copying the entire range here. Now let's say I'll copy and paste this data. I copied. Now I need to paste this data in my WKS datasheet here. That is in E11. Say WKS data dot range of E11 dot paste special. If you think you want to paste only as values, you can go here and paste as values. Now let me again copy this, F8, copied, and I'll say paste. Let's go and check. Can you see this? It is pasting, but it is pasting with the heading. Let's assume that I don't want the heading. I should copy only this much. One way is I have to go back. Let's say I have to count the number of rows, number of columns, and copy from A2 with the number of rows and number of columns. Or what we'll do is, the easiest way is, if you have any data like this, delete the first row before copying. That means here before copying, I'll say WB SRC dot sheets of 1 dot range of A1 dot entire row dot delete. So what this will do, it will delete the first row, and then it will copy the data. Let's go and check. See, see, it deleted the first row. Now I'm copying. So if you see this, it is copying the data without the heading. Fine. Let's go and check. I'll paste this. Now if you go and check this, see, it is pasting here. That means without heading. All right. That means we have written a code for opening a file, deleting the first row, copying the entire data, and pasting it in my WKS data sheet. And next step is I'm closing that file. So this is one process. If you go and check this, see, the file is closed, the data is copied. Fine, let's go back. Let's do one more file and see whether it will work. Say here, I'm trying to open another file, that is the next file, which is actually the units. You go and check, see. Fine. Let's run the code again. F8, the entire row is deleted, the heading is deleted. You can see that one row is reduced here. Now I'm copying that data. Yes, it is copied. Now I'll paste the data. Let's go and check what has happened. Here, the problem is it is pasting the data just on the same data place where I've pasted the same range where I've pasted previously. But my intention was to paste this data just below this. After I paste some data, then it has to paste just below that. So if you want to do that, what I'll do, let me go back. This E11 should change to say E21 like this. If I were to change this, now if I paste it, see, it will get pasted just below that. But every time I cannot go and change this manually. That means this process, this count, whatever is there, that also should get automated. Now what we'll do, we'll stop our code. You can stop here, say reset. I'll go back. Now whatever I've taken here, this count is for the file count. Now let's take one more, say dim int row count as integer. Sorry, this file count, we'll make it as integer. Okay. I have this row count. This row count should be inside the loop. Why? Because the count, whatever is there here, that will be keep changing. So now I have 10 records. One more time, the next time when I'm pasting it, that will become 20 records, 30. So the count will be keep changing. So what I'll do, I'll go here. Here we have already taken this for creating the menu, so you can use the same thing. So what I've done here, so this one in the previous session, we had taken this for creating the menus. The same count, I'll go here, say count A from here till bottom, till the last row. Just take it. Let me remove this. As of now, we'll do it from beginning. It says 0. That means the row count, whatever is there, it says 0. Now there is no data. Now we'll take this E4 into this int row count. Let's say int row count equals WKS raw data, say data dot range of E4 dot value. Now this int row count is nothing but the count of records which are pasted. Now nothing is there, so it is saying 0. So I'll copy this. Instead of this E21, I'll just remove this, say ampersand, and I'll paste this int row count. Now here it says E0, but just start from 11, say plus 11. Means why I'm giving this plus 11 is, now int row count is 0, 0 plus 11, so it means E11. Next time when something gets pasted here, this row count will actually change, and then this row count plus the 11 rows will give me the next row. Right. Let's go and check this. Let's say F8. Okay, the file got opened, and here this row got deleted, the heading got deleted. Then F8, the data got copied, and the data got pasted here. If you see here, it got pasted. I can see the row count got changed. Right. Let's go back. The opened raw data is closed. Now one file is copied and pasted. Let's go to the second one. Now what will happen is here it says int row count, that is this one. Now it is 10. Now the second file is opened. The first row is deleted. Now the data is copied. Now this int row is 10. 10 plus 11 is 21. Now if you go here, it says 21. That means it has to paste it in 21. Say F8. See, got pasted. Now let's try one more file. See, it got pasted. So likewise, if I run this continuously, it will run 112 times and then it will copy and paste the entire data. Let me just make it 20 here just to show you guys. Just say 20, so that only first 20 files will be copied, otherwise it will take some time if I'm taking 112 files. Here will also clear the data because it has to start from beginning. Now if I run this program, so what will happen, it will start from here. So what we'll do, we'll go here, we'll clear the data, wks data dot range of, we'll say 11 to m, will take some, say 1 lakh or something, dot clear contents. So what this will do, it will just clear the data first and then it will copy and paste. Let's run this. So I've given only 20 so that it will run only 20 times. Let me run this. See, it's copying and pasting 20 times. So it will run 20 times. Otherwise, what will happen if I give 112, it will keep running. So just for your reference, I'm just giving you 20 so that it will run one below the other. So it will run 20 times. Right. So the data is copied. So 20 files is copied and pasted here. Right. So this one, excuse me. This one I'm just trying to run by pressing F5 or something directly from this say VB editor. And also what happened after completion of the process, it just stopped. So I didn't know whether everything is copied or not. So what I'll do for that, we'll try to give one message here saying message box. Here we'll say data copied successfully. Copy PB information, comma, we'll say yes automation process. This is the heading. Now here I've given one message box saying that after this process the data is completed. Now what we'll do, we'll take this code, we'll put this into one button and try to automate that. I mean, just click on that button, it should get automated. All right. Now what we'll also do is here you saw that there is a process when it was copying and pasting, the data was flickering. So for that we'll go here and say application dot screen updating equals false. So what this will do, it will stop the flickering of the screen so that it will just copy and paste. Now what I'll do, I'll go here, let me just delete this data. Now let's say it is blank. Let me create one button here. Quickly we'll create one button and this button will say get data. Select, format this the different color. This is for creating menus. Now I'm using this for creating, for automating the process. Say right click, assign macro. Let's assign the macro automate process. Now let me click on this. The data should get copied here. See, run this. See, now that flickering is not happening. It is just trying to process. So what it is doing is it is running in the background. You can see that there is some few things are happening here. So it is trying to copy and paste, no flickers. If you're not given that application.screen updating equals false, see, data copied successfully. If I say okay, see, the data, the 20 files, whatever is there, it will get copied like this. So if I would have given that int file count, the entire 112 files, whatever is there, it will copy one below the other. This is one example of copying and pasting the data from multiple Excel sheets to one Excel sheet. So it is very simple actually. Only thing is you have to understand how we can automate the process, make the steps, and then try to work on this. Right. Now let me tell you how to automate the process of copying and pasting the data from Excel sheet to PPT. Right, let's go and check that. I'll say insert module F4 mod underscore say PPT automation. This automation is again very simple actually. People actually think that automation itself is very complex thing. It is not at all complex. As I told you, it has to be planned. Connecting from Excel to PPT, again, people think that it's very difficult, a lot of things to do. It's very complex process which we cannot do. It's not that. If you have a proper steps, if you know the proper objects, I'm telling you, any automations are easy. Let's go back. Let's assume I've created one report like this. Let's say I'll take one of the reports. Let's take this report. I want to copy this report and paste it in PPT. So first what we should do is we should learn how to connect from Excel to PPT. That is the first step what you should do. After that, whatever data is there, whether it can be a table or it can be a chart or any shapes, whatever, we'll try to copy that and paste it in the PPT what we have created. So how to first connect from Excel to PPT, that is what we'll see first. First thing what you have to do is go to tools. First step, reference. Here we'll have something called as Microsoft PowerPoint object library. Just enable this. It will not be enabled, it will be like this. Now if you go and see tools references, you will not have that unless and until you enable it. So where will that be available? Just scroll down. So if you scroll down, you'll get this Microsoft PowerPoint object library. Just select this, forget about version. So you'll have different versions for different, say Excel or MS Office versions you install. So it will be 12.0 or 14.0 or 16.0, whatever version you have, just select and say OK. Once you select that, all the libraries, means the codes what you have in PowerPoint will be enabled with this. That means you're trying to connect it. So whatever macros, say we call it as functions, which is there in the library of PowerPoint, will be connected with Excel. First thing what we should do, let's say sub PPT automation. Three objects are very important here. What are those three objects? One is application, presentation, and slide. These three options you have to take. These three objects you have to take. How to take that? Say dim, I'll say PPT app as PowerPoint dot application. Dim PPT presentation as PowerPoint dot presentation. Dim PPT slide as PowerPoint dot slide. See, three objects we should take: application, presentation, slide. Application is the PowerPoint application. Presentation is the presentation which we are creating inside that application. Slide is the slide which you are creating inside these presentations. This is for declaring. Now let's see how we can assign. That means how we can create these objects. Say set ppt application, that is app, equals create object, and say PowerPoint dot application. This is to create the PowerPoint application. Now if you see in my desktop, means here I don't have PowerPoint opened. We have to create the application. I'll go here. The application is created. Now this has to be visible. Go here. I'll say ppt app dot visible equals to. Now let's run this. See, the ppt is created, means the application. I cannot see any presentation here, no slides. Right, let's go back. I will close this. Next is the presentation I have to create inside this application which I'm creating. Say set ppt presentation equals ppt application. This is what we have created. Inside this application I have to create the presentation. I'll say presentations.add. This is just like what you are adding a workbook. Application.workbooks.add. Same thing here, application.presentations.add. If you want to open existing PPT, then I'll just change this to presentations.open. Just now we did this workbooks.open and we give the path. Same thing you can give here also. Same concept in any of the application. Only thing is you have to check the objects in each application. That's it. All right. Now in this case, what will happen? It will create a presentation as well. Let me run this. And if you check this, you will see one application. So inside that application, I can see the presentation. See, fine. Now we'll try to create a slide inside that presentation which we have created. So how to create? Set ppt slide equals ppt presentation. So inside this ppt presentation, I'm trying to create the slide dot slides dot add. So when I say slides dot add, it asks for the index number. I'll say 1, comma, it asks for ppt layout. See, this is the layout. Layout is nothing but each slide will have its own layout. Now what I've done is I've just taken it as a blank layout. Now let me run this. Application is created, presentation is created, and a slide is created. Next step is taking this chart, copying this and pasting in my PPT. Let me select this. Let's name this and say OBJ pie chart. Let's go back. Here, let's say WKS. What is the sheet? It says report 3. So report 3 is what? Here in this case, report 3 is WKS report product. Report product dot shapes of the name what we have given here dot copy. Just observe, I given it as copy. Now I'll say ppt slide dot shapes dot. You have to give the shapes here directly. I cannot say paste. Let me run this. See, it got pasted. Now if I go and select this, it is the object, say editable object, what it will get pasted here. If you say this, it's an editable object. Right. What if I want to paste it as an image? Image in the sense, it should just paste, copy and paste as a picture. In that case, you don't have to write any extra code. Let me copy this, just paste it here. I'll keep both. So one is for copying and pasting as an editable object, or if you think that it should be as a picture, I'll go here, I'll say copy picture. That's it. Just say copy picture. Now let me run this. Same process it will run. And here if you see, this will become an image now. This is not editable. This is an image. Okay. Let's close this. This is for copying an object and pasting. What if I want to copy and paste a table? Let me make this as chart, and here let me copy this, paste it here. I'll just say table. Same code. I could have done here only, but just to have a separate code, I've just taken this. So here, whatever we have put for copying the chart, I'll just say select this range. Say from this D12 WKS report product range from D12 dot current region dot copy. So what current region will do? It will copy the entire range. Now when I say copy, it will just copy the range. Run this. See, it's copying and pasting the range here. When I'm copying and pasting, so this one, this is editable object. See, I can go and I can still edit this like this. All right, let me close this. I want to paste this as picture, like what we did here. Same code, no changes. Just say picture. See, this will become a picture now. This is not editable. All right, let me close this. Now what we did here is for copying one chart. Let's say I want to copy these two charts. Or say there will be multiple charts. Let me select this. Just try to name this as OBJ chart 1. Say enter. Copy this. I will name this as OBJ chart. Now there are two charts. Let me copy this and make some more charts. Copy this. I'm just trying to make some more charts here. Let's name this as 4. And this one. I have 4 charts. I want to export these 4 charts. So what we'll do is we'll just try to go here and just paste this. It's a multiple chart. Now here when I say multiple chart, that should go in loops. Same concept, but here I'll say INTI as integer. Now we should actually plan which all code has to go inside the loops. Application should be created only once, presentation should be created only once, and the slides within that should be looped. So what we'll do, we'll start the loop from here. Or INTI equals, let's say I have 4 charts, I'll say 1 to 4, and till the paste, say next INTI. So if you see this part should be looped. Now when you see this, I mentioned it as index number 1, that is slide number 1. So this has to keep getting increased. I'll say INTI. This INTI, whatever is there, is nothing but the slide number. So it will say 1, I'll get slide number 1, then again 2, 3, 4. But the chart also should change. Now I'll change this to chart, but here I'll not say 1. If I say 1, what will happen? Only one chart will be copied. I'll say ampersand INTI. What I'm trying to do here I'm just trying to append the index number what I mentioned here. Say chart 1, chart 2, chart 3. Okay, chart 3. And here we'll make it as chart 4. I've used the same charts here just to show you guys how to automate the process of PPT. Now let's run this. If I just run this, see, can you see that 4 slides got created? That means all these charts got copied and pasted. Let me close this. Right. Now the automation, what we are doing here is copying and pasting that into different slides. The automation might differ. Say it can be 2 slides in a, 2 charts in a slide, 1 table with 1 chart. So there'll be different process. So you have to make a note of it. Anytime if you think that, okay, I want to process something, automate a complete process, make a note of it step by step, work on that manually, and then take each steps and convert that into macros. That is how you can do. So suppose if I want this to be like uh, 2 charts or say 2 objects in one slide, then what will happen here in this automation? So this will come twice, because here I'm using the same thing for copying and pasting the picture. So here it will be like object 1 and below this object 2. Then again it will go back, it will take the another process, again one more process, like that. So you have to first make a list of things. So it's not that always it will be straightforward like this. There are 4 objects, then you'll have to do this 4 times here. Then you have 1 to 10 slides which are actually pasting as only one object. Then again from slide 11 to 20 there are slides which are copying and pasting, so 2 objects. So you have to adjust with these loops here, say 1 to 10 one code, then again one more loop, say 11 to 20, like that. So you have to just do some small changes, but the complete process will be, the main process will be, the code will be in this manner.